Man of God, 2 countries, and a child abuse lawsuit. Pastor Keith Johnson is at the center of this multi-million-dollar international lawsuit. But where is he?
I find out that he's believed to be right here in Tulsa. Johnson is being sued over alleged abuse at the formerly named Christian Center Academy in Saskatoon, Canada. But officials haven't been able to serve him in person.
It was a very well-known document in the church.
The teachings in the book woven into the fabric of Caitlin Erickson's childhood.
If you wanted to become a member of the church and you had children, this was an actual class.
This biblical blueprint, the word of the Lord, filtered through the lens of Keith Johnson.
I'm here to tell you folks that if we will work and operate our faith, develop our faith, nothing is impossible.
It was encouraging paddling kids.
There was no encouraging. It was, you will do this, full stop. So as an adult and a parent now stepping back and, looking at it from that lens, it was 100% an abusive cult.
And after years of staying silent, she found her voice along with dozens of other former students who attended Christian Center Academy in Saskatoon, Canada.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to figure out how to use this damn thing.
I guess since you've been a lawyer, have you ever encountered a situation like this?
No. And we currently have about 75 students who have provided to us their stories. They're horrific.
Including Johnson's own granddaughter.
For me, I was always spanked like 3 times. And then they would want to pray with you and give you a hug, and you had to ask for their forgiveness.
Nearly 24 school and church staff are named in the proposed class action lawsuit alleging physical, sexual, emotional, and spiritual abuse, solitary confinement, and homophobic exorcisms.
A lot of it deals with paddling and spanking, what they call corporal punishment, but they used a paddles which they actually sold to the parents from their gift shop.
The claim directly quoting Johnson's training manual with photos and directions for how to paddle children.
We have students who would wear 6 and 7 and 8 pairs of underwear to school each day because they thought they were going to get paddled. We have girls saying they were paddled so hard that they were bruised down to their knees. The long-term ramifications are significant and ongoing.
So too are the Canadian legal proceedings, now tied to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where numerous attempts to serve Johnson have been unsuccessful. The first, according to Canadian court documents, in August at a home where the process server says he spoke to Johnson's son-in-law.
Could he tell me where I could find Mr. Johnson? And he said, well, he's around. And I said, around where? Somewhere around Tulsa.
We went to the same home and also didn't find Keith Johnson. No one answered. Knocked twice. But as you can see, there's 2 different vehicles here. So not sure if anyone's home or not, but no one came to the door. The process server says he then went to Church on the Move.
I talked to a couple of individuals whose name I don't remember. They identified themselves as pastors. And I explained that I was looking for this gentleman. I gave them the name. And they called someone else over. I eventually talked to 2 or 3 people there. And they all concluded that they had someone by that name who was a parishioner, if you will. They lived in Claremore, and we kind of ruled that person out. So I left there not knowing, to this day, really don't know what the affiliation is with Church on the Move.
We're having a bit of a hard time tracking down the ex-lead pastor of the school and church I went to and the creator of the child abuse manual. This thing.
Erickson voicing her frustrations on TikTok, posting this video.
If you happen to be in the evangelical scene, Keith Johnson's nephew is actually Willie George, which pastors Church on the Move. It's a huge mega church in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Founding pastor Willie George's website shows a photo of the pair and states his Uncle Keith was his boyhood hero and more of a father than his own. And I just, wanted to reach out to you guys before we do the story. But when NewsChannel 8 reached out to Church on the Move, we were told the TikTok video was what brought the allegations to their attention. The church's written response? We are surprised by the TikTok video connecting one of our pastors to law enforcement's challenge in serving lawsuit documents to Mr. Johnson. While one of our pastors is related to Mr. Johnson, we are not connected to him, nor are we sheltering him in any way.
It's just kind of like curious to me that Keith is hiding, because if he believes in what he's done and believes in what he did was the right thing, then why would he be there to back it up unless he knows that what he's done is wrong?
Erickson is one of more than 40 people who have filed criminal complaints, and Saskatoon police say the investigation is far from over.
So what would justice look like for you?
For me, I would love to see Keith having to be held accountable for his actions, because he's kind of been this untouchable figure who is just able to do whatever he wants, you know, in the name of God.
We called Keith Johnson numerous times, but no one answered. The school and church are still open, but under new names. Neither responded to our request for comment. A Canadian judge has allowed Johnson to be served by mail and his son-in-law. The legal proceedings are ongoing, and there's been no verdict so far.